Hey, everybody, welcome to Collector's Haven. I'm Mike Pingel, and welcome back to the show. Today, man, we are going to go all in with the X-Files with Heather and her collection. Heather, welcome to the X-Files. You are the X-Files, not me. See, I was trying to make something funny, and then my brain doesn't really work because I think COVID was part of the X-Files, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Because I recently had COVID last month, and every
I
time
did too. I did too. I just got over it like 4 days ago, actually.
It's like the in thing to do. That's what I hear. I was only sick for 14 days. And
Oh.
people are like, you can go out. I'm like, I don't want to go out. I don't feel well. I hope yours was better than that.
Well, yeah, I had it for the first time like 6 months ago, and I was sick for like 5 weeks. I just had it for the second time. I was sick for 4 days and I was gone.
Okay, well, it's getting better. It's getting better. Wow. So yeah, but being an alien headhunter, is that what you are? Shapeshifter? What are
I said alien bounty hunter.
That's it. See, I should write things down, folks. I should write things down. All right. So you are a lover of X-Files, and I loved X-Files. One of my most favorite episodes is the person underneath the bed.
Oh, home, the mom under the bed.
Yes. She was so cute. She was so sweet. Her kids were so fun.
Yeah.
What was your favorite episode?
Oh, Ex-Cops.
Oh, what happened on that one?
That was the one where it was like a cops spoof. So it was set up to look like the cops crew. The cops television crew was following them around. Did you see that one?
I believe I did. Yes. I was a diehard fan during the show, during the heart of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did some movies that kind of jumped the X-Files shark, and then the reboot was good.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that because the 2008 movie, that was what got me into the X-Files. So
Really?
as bad as it was comparatively to the rest of the series, it was still so good that it brought me here.
Now, is that the one with the white things with the bees and stuff? Is that the one?
No, that's the first movie. That was movie number one. This was movie number two with the priest.
Wow. So how did you start collecting? Did you then just start watching the whole series, or how did that start you off? If I mean, you were that, sorry, Heather, you were late in the show there.
I was very late in the show.
Very late.
I bought the movie on a whim when so the second movie, Hollywood Video, you remember those stores? Because I'm old school. So Hollywood Video was still a thing, but it was going out of business. So everything in there was half off, or buy three, get three free, or whatever. So I was in there taking advantage of the deals, and I saw the X-Files movie sitting there for sale, the 2008 I Want to Believe movie. And I just saw it, and it just instant nostalgia, because I thought, oh, my dad used to watch X-Files. I remember that when I was a kid. I remember my dad watching that. So I'm just going to throw this in because, I'm buying these. It'll be free or whatever. So I bought it. And then, what's funny is the first time I watched it, I thought, that's all right. I didn't really think much of it, right? It's like, oh, that's cool. But several months later, I was watching another movie, and it had the preview for that one I had already seen on there. And I thought, oh, dang, that preview, that made it look really good. Maybe I didn't give it a chance. So then I went back and rewatched it, and then I watched it 50 times. Fell in love with it, and then started here.
So did you start collecting immediately, or did you just watch the whole series? I mean, how did that go hand in hand?
I I bought all the series. Some of them at first were on VHS. A friend of mine, her older sister, had some VHS. Yeah. So I started that, and then bought them all on DVD, watched them, and went from there. Then that's when I started collecting. I just couldn't have enough.
So with your collecting, what bit you the first time? What was do you have your very first thing you bought?
I do. Don't mind. That's my dog, Grace. She's got no manners. Don't mind her.
Oh, she's fine. She's fine.
The first thing I bought was this. Can you see it?
Yes. Oh, it's a signed one too. Signed photo.
It is. So it's I know I got like a glare here. I can just see you in there. How's that? Can you see that? It's Mulder and Scully sitting there and they're both signed. They're both autographed.
Wow. And where did you pick that up?
When?
Where?
Oh, I was gonna say 2010. I got it online. I got it online from, I can't remember now. One of those, I don't remember which one. It was a autograph dealer, like a website that had all they sold were autographed things.
Excellent. So that started it. Looking behind you, there was a lot of stuff that they made with the X-Files. And
Yes.
did you then just do more photos? Do you collect on everything of X-Files? Anything that has it branded with X-Files, you're like, I want it.
That's where I'm at now. At first, it was action figures and the Fight the Future action figures. You can see all those. And then the Sideshow 6 scale, all those. I got all the action figures and and then it just kind of morphed into the comic books. Then I got into the comic books and then I had all the comic books and then I realized there were variant covers and there were signed copies and there were convention covers.
Oh, so no, you went down the X-File hole, didn't you? You're like,
Yep, exactly. And then it just kind of snowballed.
Now they still make, don't they still make the X-File comic books? Are those still going on? Is the story still happening?
It was until Disney bought Fox and then that just ruined everything. That put a stop to everything. There were cards in the works, there were comics in the works, there was like collector cards or like deck of cards kinds of things. There were poster projects, there were all sorts of things like actively in the works, and then Disney came along and just said, no, we don't like X-Files, and then just stopped everything, essentially is what it seems like.
That's weird. That doesn't, I'm sure they're going to bring it back, their resurgence, because, there's a lot of people who love X-Files and Disney cannot not stop. I love Disney, exploit anything they own. So I'm sure they'll be back. I mean, everything else on 20th Century is I think finding resurgence, but it's all about Star Wars for them right now.
So yeah, exactly.
It's all about Star Wars. And I do, and I have the one reason I think they bought 20th Century because they own the rights to the DVD and VHS and all those rights. I think that's the reason why they bought it. I mean, that just could be my X-Files of me, but I think that's the reason why they bought it.
Yeah, for sure.
All they want is money. But it's funny, once they bought it, all of a sudden there was new Star Wars DVDs and Blu-rays and coming out. So
yeah,
I think I got something. I could. So, all right. So many X-Files. So who is your favorite X-File character of the show?
Oh, I don't have one. They all contribute so much in their own ways.
Okay, so if an alien ship was coming down and say you can only take one with you, what would it be?
Oh boy, that's a hard one.
I know. I'm giving it that you have up until the end of the show to tell me. How about that?
Okay, how about this? I got one because everyone hates on him so much, and I love him. John Doggett.
Oh, who is he?
I'm taking John Doggett with me. Who is it? Robert Patrick.
Oh, Robert Patrick. Oh, he's not the smoker?
No, he took Mulder's place in season 8 and 9.
Oh yeah, that's why everyone hates him.
Yeah, but I loved him and I loved his character, so I'll take Robert Patrick with me.
See, didn't watch those years. You can have them. Take them. Take them. Take him. We still have David. Take him. It's fine. So what is your most prized possession of your whole collection? Do you have one?
This is a hard one. I was stuck between two.
I would think it's that crazy head behind your head.
The fluke man here?
Yeah. He's a friendly looking one, isn't he?
It's one of them, but I have many. My Gen Con deck. You heard of the Gen Con deck? It's very rare. There were, I want to say there were, I don't remember. There were a couple hundred of them made. They were demonstration decks
Ooh.
for the collector card game. And they were also, all these decks, including this box, they were all supposed to be destroyed after the convention, but like 50 decks were smuggled out illegally. And you can tell because they say G-Con on them, and then also the backs of the cards say for demonstration purposes only.
Oh, so they weren't even giving those out. They were just for demonstration at the event.
That's it. And then they were supposed to be destroyed. So I have a Gen Con deck, a complete deck. There are unreleased cards in here and versions that weren't released of some later cards. So that's why it's such a rare.
And how much does that rare deck of cards cost one person?
It usually sells for about $500.
Oh, that's impressive. That's very impressive. Is that your most expensive thing you have in your collection?
Well, it's hard to say because a lot of things I have, I feel like I paid too much for. And then there were other things I have that were worth a lot more that I got a really good deal on. I would say though, $500 is pretty much like the max though of what anything would cost in here. Yeah. My other thing I wanted to show you.
Show me.
It's a script, but it was Gillian Anderson's script. She signed it. And there are her handwritten notes like all throughout the script. Let me find them. Can you see?
I can. That's really cool. Have you read them all and you kind of know where she was going with her character for that episode?
Yeah, exactly. She just wrote a lot of notes about like the script and what her lines were, which is really interesting. I don't know if it was like part of her memorization process, but she would just like fill pages over and over with like her notes. Like her
I love it.
notes.
Did she change it? Did she change any of her lines?
I didn't see any, not on here.
Sometimes directors don't let them do that, but who knows where she was. Where in the world was that script in the seasons of the show?
This was season 9, and it was for an episode called Release, which is one of my favorites. I love that episode.
Wow. So by that point, I'm sure she had all rights to change whatever the heck she wanted.
Yeah, I
bet. She knew her character well by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So where did you get your cards? Did you have a wacky story or something interesting or something supernatural or how you got something in your collection? I mean, no. The person who smuggled all those 500 out, I mean.
Right? I mean, I didn't personally smuggle the deck out, but yeah, so someone else I'm sure has a really wacky story about that. I mean, no, I don't. There's this item that can you see it? It's up right here and right there. It's an alien fetus in a jar with green liquid in it.
It was Jillian's baby.
I hope not.
For alien.
I looked forever for that. It was a really rare promo item, you know, and originally these come in different filled fluids. Some of them are green, some of them are red. When I found this online, it was filled with red liquid. And I was so excited. I was so excited for it. And when I went out in the mailbox, I opened up my mailbox, you know, we got it like a lockbox, and I pull it out. The whole thing is just red. So it had leaked. And I'm not joking. I cried. I was so devastated. It ruined like the stickers. There's like labels and X-Files stickers and things all over it, and they were all pink tinged and water damaged. So then I had to scour coast to coast on the internet and find someone that could make me custom replacement stickers for that. And they did, and it was great. Now it's all done and finished, and you can't tell. And I put green fluid in it to forget the memory of the red fluid incident.
Wow.
So that's kind of, I guess, a wacky story of.
Well, no, that's a nightmare for any collector. I have a collection of Charlie's Angel stuff, and some of the stuff, some promo stuff they made has that wacky like jelly stuff inside that I won't put with it has to be in its own separate collection, because if I wake up, find that jelly exploding through, hundreds of $1,000s worth of magazines, I won't be happy. Yeah. I can only imagine the dream thing coming to your house, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. It was worthwhile to put all that effort into having it restored, though, because I never saw that item before, and I have never seen it since to buy. So
your therapist loves you for it too, because I'm sure you had many hours you had to stay with her. I'm sure. I know I would.
Yeah, for
I'd
sure.
be crying for days and weeks, and
I got a little teary-eyed. I got a little teary-eyed, and then I just thought, no, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna make this right.
So you have a huge collection. How many items do you have in your collection?
Thousands. I don't know.
Thousands. Are there things you're still looking for out there? Do you have a list?
I mean, at this point, I have the things that I know exist, so I'm just looking for. But there is something that I know exists that I don't have, and it's just a hat.
A hat?
The hat. Yeah.
An X-File hat?
Yeah.
Or was it a crew hat, or is it something specific?
Not even a crew hat. It was just there were like little leaflets that were released that just had merchandise on them. And this hat, it came in a bag. Let's see. This bag right here, there's a little emblem on it, and there's a hat with that exact emblem on it. It's just a patch that says X-Files Trust No One. So I have the bag, but I can't find the hat. I saw a woman post a photo on Instagram, and she was wearing it. So I was like, it exists. It exists.
Did you reach out to her and say,
I need your hat? I did.
Really wants your hat back?
And she didn't respond.
Oh, darn her. So I did see Star Wars. Do you also collect a little bit of Star Wars?
That's my husband's.
Oh, we won't talk about that then. That's great. Well, so you both collect. That's really fun.
Yeah, he loves Star Wars. I love X-Files.
So do you guys go out to the collections or not collections, but the antique stores or events and do the group thing?
We do. It's fun. We love going. We call them like nerd stores when we find stores that just sell collectibles, 90s things, 80s things, and he'll find Star Wars things in there. Sometimes I find X-Files. Star Wars is a lot easier to find.
It's true. And very massive, and you really kind of have to. I mean, I can only imagine, I've spoken to many collectors about Star Wars, but it's such a massive world that doesn't stop now, especially now that Disney has it. I mean, you really have to because I love Star Wars and I have a few things, but I can't.
That's what I say. It's so overwhilling that it takes the joy out of it. At least with this, there's an end to it because there was only so many X-Files things made. My husband, he has limited his collection now to Obi-Wan Kenobi because of that.
Oh, good. And there's a new TV show coming. Or did it come? It already came.
It did. And he watched.
So there's more stuff on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, we'll talk about him later. I was like, does he collect the old one, the new one, whatever? But let's get back to the X-Files. Don't get me off track. So let's look at can we look around the room and look at some of the collectibles?
Yes.
Please, let's do it.
Yes. Okay. I guess I'll start you. Let's see here. How can you see?
I can see, and you're going to be full screen, so I'm going to shut up.
Okay. Down here.
Just talk about it and tell us everything.
Okay. down here, this is all my comic books. I've got 6 bins that are entirely full of all the comics. I have this, I think it was a cardboard cutout thing at a convention. There's pins, a set of pins, there's lights, Fight the Future mugs here. This is the alien fetus I was telling you about. It got ruined. I got all sorts of mugs back there, flashlights. I mean, it's overwhelming, really. I got even an X-Files umbrella, Funko Pops. It's got Golden Globes 1997 sunglasses, invitations to events, 6 scales, bobbleheads, Dark Horse action figures up there. Oh, Mr. Chuckleteeth. Did you see Mr. Chuckleteeth?
He's just a barrel of laughs.
Here's the Fluke Man you were talking about. And then I have all the binders that have the cards in them, the collector cards. This is a promo box that has a bunch of like goodies in it. Another promo box that has a bunch of goodies in it. This one had promos for every season 1 through 9, and individual baggies in there. More binders that come with magazines. I have many more magazines, but they're down in a closet because I couldn't fit them. These are just like, I have tons, like hundreds of these like film cell things. The Fight the Future action figures telling you about. And then I got, this is kind of like where I put my random stuff down here. These 2 binders here are pretty cool. They have merchandise. They're like catalogs for released and unreleased merchandise, and like slides with the pictures of design ideas and everything. Probably hard to see these with the glare on them. They were the 3-0 6 scale action figures that were just released a few years ago. Got some Morley packs, of course. Discman, X-Files Discman. It was a crew gift. Got some journals, books, the Barbies, mag lights, DVDs, more DVDs, games. I mean, all sorts of stuff, really. You can see over here. Got a crew gift from Annabeth Gish. That would be season 9. So you didn't see that. Bags, all sorts of bags. And then down on the floor there, I have a bin that has all my scripts in it. All my scripts. I'm gonna turn around over here and show all my hats. Got them all hanging on the door.
You have all the hats except the one you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't have that. And then, you know, this is a gigantic window cling.
I love it.
And then if you would like to see, I have some of my posters hanging up across the way here.
Oh wow, we're going into the rest of the rooms of the house.
Can you see?
Oh yeah.
So I just have posters all over the walls. Okay, let me turn you around. So like every square inch is like covered. These are all autographed pictures that I have. Can you see?
They are beautiful. Look at all those.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of those.
Have you met everybody in the show?
I only met David Duchovny.
That's
and I
it?
just met him 2 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was about 60 minutes away from me doing a book signing for his new book.
Oh, that's definitely a travel. That's definitely a
Yeah. So
definitely a thing.
that was
So,
fun.
where do you mostly find your collectibles? Is it eBay, going to conventions? Where do you usually find your stuff now?
Anywhere, everywhere. So eBay was good at first. That's where I started out. They had a lot of um I mean, the action figures, the comics, that's a great place to get that kind of stuff. But now that I'm looking for the more obscure items, eBay doesn't really, have a good selection for that. So other thrift apps, thrift websites I have found some really crazy things on sites like Mercari. Have you heard of that one?
I have
I think
not. I'm writing
I
that
think
down right
it's
now.
yeah, and another one called Depop. I think that they're generally used for buying and selling clothes, but
Mhm.
people will put collectibles on there. And when collectibles come on there, they're things I've never seen before. They're a great price. So places like that. Also, um, I live in Oregon, so we have Portland here. And Portland has a lot of really interesting shops, like that big window cling I was telling you about. We just picked that up at a shop near Portland just like 2 or 3 months ago. They have X-Files stuff, they had Star Wars stuff, and also on the Oregon coast, there's this great shop uh, that used to be owned by an author that was a personal collector of all these kinds of things. So I got quite a few X-Files things in there. I mean, just anywhere.
That's great. Is there a good community for X-File fans? Are there a lot of Facebook places you can find, or have you found that that'd be cool?
Well, the only social media I have is an Instagram page that's dedicated to my X-Files collection. So the only community I've found is on there.
Excellent. And where is? Can you tell us where what your Instagram handle is so people can come look at your stuff?
Yeah, it's Musings of an X-File. X-File as in Phile, not File. So play on words
It's
there.
right down there, folks. It's on the screen. So here's a question. If you had, if they were going to do one more X-File TV show, what would you want it to be? Would it be a return to something, or a new story? And what would that be? Oh, God.
I would want it to be a return of something, just to see where everyone's at now. They did a really good job of that, I felt, with season 11, how they ended it, but they were missing Robert Patrick, they were missing Doggett, and Chris Carter, in an interview, he said that he had an idea for Doggett. He had this storyline for him where he was now, but they didn't get to use it because Robert Patrick wasn't in that season. So I would love to see what happens with Skinner, because the last we saw him, he was under the SUV. And William, he had been shot, but since he's like a super soldier kind of half alien guy, he survived that, right? So just like kind of wondering like where he went. Scully was having a baby, what happened with that? So yeah, I would just love almost like a reunion show.
Yeah, yeah.
See where
Maybe
everyone is now.
maybe Disney will do that for you. Please, Disney, do it. Do it.
They don't butcher it though. They got to keep it how Fox would have it.
Did we go through all the stuff that you had already pulled before the show? I know you said you pulled some stuff. I don't want to miss out anything.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay, great. What do you like most about collecting the X-Files?
It makes me happy. That sounds so stupid, but it's true. I mean, just looking for something, makes me feel happy, satisfying, and then when I find something and I buy it and it comes in the mail. I'm just so excited. And then I get to come and waste my time in here and find a spot for it and set it up. And it just gives me so much joy. I couldn't even tell you exactly why.
Oh no, I know that joy too. What I love most is when I purchase something and I completely forgot I bought it. And then it arrives and I'm like, holy. Or when I buy something I already have and I put it in the collection, I'm like, oh, I already have that one. Oh, but that's okay. I love it so much I bought it a second time.
Yeah. Oh, that's frustrating though when that happens. But I do have that happen sometimes when something comes in the mail. Like, what I order? I don't remember ordering anything.
It's Christmas all over again. And then I get upset when I go down. There's 1,000 packages for other people, and I'm like, there's nothing for me.
Oh.
Nothing on eBay this month about Charlie's Angels. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing all your collection.
Thank you for having me.
And now, I'm so fixated by the by that lovely face behind you. Is that a mask or is that a mold?
This is a bust.
It's just a bust.
Yeah, and it's made of like rubber.
Okay.
Like a big solid rubber. The teeth they seem real. I don't know if they're like what kind of critter they pulled teeth from to put in that. But the chuckle teeth mask, that's a mask, like a full mask you can put on your head. But no, the fluke man here is just a bust.
Okay. And it just came to me. Have you and your husband gone out as Mulder and Scully for Halloween?
No.
What?
I know. No.
No, say it's not so. Have you gone out like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Princess Leia?
No.
What is wrong with you people?
I know. I've thought about it.
Well, at least you thought about it. I guess that's okay.
I'm not big on like cosplay or dressing
Well, I was
up.
just thinking maybe like a Halloween party,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not a big cosplay person either. But I enjoy watching people do cosplay.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I do too. It's not something that I personally do.
I freak out when I see a group of girls playing Charlie's Angels at because I collected angels. So that's exciting to me, but
yeah, that would be.
Okay, well, now I'm devastated. Thank you. So anyway, so you're desperately looking for that hat. So if anybody has that hat out there, you need to reach out to Heather and she needs it. So you need to send it to her immediately, period.
Thanks.
So there you go. I hope you get it.
Me too.
Well, Heather, it's been a pleasure chatting with you about the X-Files. I am so excited about your collection. And we've been showing pictures throughout the show today. So I hope everybody out there has enjoyed all of them. And you have a lot of mugs too.
I do. I do.
Hey, right? Do you do a mug a day?
When I see a mug I don't have, it's like, oh, I don't have that one. I'll get it. That's why I have so many. They made so many. Yeah.
Well, it's an easy thing to do. You do a mug a day, for a whole month. Take a picture with you you don't take pictures with you. Just a mug. Coffee in a mug.
Yeah, there you go. I could do that.
Heather, thank you so much for taking the time today and sharing your collection with everybody out there. And everybody out there, if any of you are a collector, I would love to have you on the show. Just DM me and let's talk about collecting, because we're collectors and we love collecting and spending all our money on the stuff behind us. Heather, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Ooh, I was gonna do the what's the song?
Oh, do 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 do.
There you go.
Na, 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 na.
I love it.